They're a troubled basketball team, and I don't know why Doc couldn't fix them, but Doc wasn't able to fix the Clippers the way Ty Lue fixed them right before your very eyes. And somehow he lost a game. What game were they up? Game 4, they were up 18, and then 26 in game 5.
Right.
It's just so wrong.
Right.
They dominate. They're up 2-1 in this series. Now I'm going to remind everybody the Sixers had the best record in the East. Everybody's forgotten that now, but they had the best record in the East. The Sixers at home over the last 2 regular seasons are 61-9 with Embiid and Simmons. 61-9 at home. Is that good? That's great. That's the best 2-year record at home in pro basketball. And now let's get to Ben Simmons. I'm going to defend him today because if you look at the overall scope of his work, he's made 3 straight All-Star teams. You're saying, let's trade our 3 straight time All-Star.
Yeah.
He's made first-team All-Defense 2 straight years. 2 straight years, first-team All-Defense. Yeah. And if you look at his track record in the postseason, if you look at his first playoff series against Miami in 2018, he made 25 of 35 free throws in that playoff series.
Okay.
That was 71%. Then they played the Celtics in the next round. They lost that, but he made 70% of his free throws. My point to you is I've seen him with my own eyes make free throws in big playoff games. So if we look at his overall stats, he's for his career 16, 8, and 8. It's hard to replace the 8 and 8 part of it. It's hard to replace the first team all defense part of it because he perennially leads your team in assists because he's the point forward.
Correct.
And he's going to lead in usage rate. And I give you, he can't shoot a lick from outside. And I give you that he hasn't tried to learn how to shoot a lick from outside. But for his career, he's a 60% free throw shooter, which is not unplayable. 60's okay, right?
But at the point guard position, but what is he in clutch time? Okay.
Well, all I know is in the playoffs, he has slowly sunk into the sunset because he starts off with 71% against Miami, 70, then it drops to 58, then 56. That was against Brooklyn and then the Raptors in 2019. And then this year against Washington, he sank all the way to 36%. And in this series, he sank to 33%. And to your point, he sank in the fourth quarter to I just won't even touch the basketball anymore. I can't do it. I can't even get close to shooting because they're going to foul me.
Skip, you skipped. The man had a dunk. The man is 6'10", standing in the basket.
Did we show that?
We didn't show that, Skip.
Okay, we got to see it.
Because that's what Embiid was talking about.
He was 3:29.
We should have prefaced it by first.
Okay,
this is what Embiid is talking about right here.
3:29 left, and he wheels on Gallinari, and he's just got a dunk. He's remember, this man, Ben Simmons, is 6'11", 240. 6'11", 240.
Skip, that's Trae Young.
And guess who it is? It's Trae Young. So what, is Trae Young even going to try to foul you? Is he going to try to foul you?
That's what he did. He faked that. He faked that like, oh, I'm out your way.
Yep.
He passes up a dunk to pass because he said, well, I thought Gallinari was on my back. Skip, you 6'10", dunk Gallinari in the basket.
Well, yeah, he said, I thought he was going to get me from behind. I don't think he was going to get him from behind. It wasn't even close.
He gave up.
He was 3 feet.
He's like, oh, you done got me, bro. Hey, ain't no sense in me giving you an and one. I thought Gallinari should have grabbed him, Skip.
I don't even care about the and one, but if you dunk it, the game is tied with 3:29 left.
Well, he wasn't going to get the and one, but I'm saying I would have grabbed him so he wouldn't dunk it. Gallinari says, well, you know what? Gallinari actually made a mistake in that situation because he should have tied him up to make him go make the free throws instead of giving him the opportunity to dunk. But you can't Skip, let that sink in. That's your starting point guard. That's the guy that you said you should keep on the roster. A guy that's 6'10" and a half that passed up a dunk. And you talking about you're going to win a championship with him? Come on, Skip.
What was the rest of Doc's message? He said, we've got to get back in the gym. I don't think Doc's going to take him to the gym in the offseason. It's going to be up to Ben Simmons to rededicate to learning how to shoot the way, to your point, Lonzo, he completely revamped. Lonzo revamped, but he had to change his motion from over here to over here. Ben has no motion problems. It looks good to me. It gets a little flat sometimes. It's just a confidence problem. You can defeat the confidence problem by shooting 10,000 in the offseason. You can. Everybody says like a golf swing, you can reteach it in 10,000 swings. Well, if you went and seriously shot, that's a lot of free throws, but if you could shoot 10,000 in the offseason, maybe you'd finally, especially if you got with a shot doctor coach who could really try to reinstill your confidence, because it's just confidence with him. He's done it before. It's not like he never could shoot at LSU because he could shoot it okay at LSU.
But here's the difference, Skip. We saw a lot of guys that when they were in the bubble and there was no fans around, Skip, they were all NBA players. And then when the very same players that we saw lighted up in the bubble, when they got back and the fans started coming back in the building, they had like they didn't ever seen a basketball before in their life. I'm not saying, Skip, he probably gets in the gym and he probably looks like Steph Curry at times. But the difference is that he doesn't have the confidence. He's afraid to do it.
He's had it in the past, but he lost it slowly but surely this year.
No, Skip. He's always been afraid to shoot the ball unless it was in the paint. Now, Skip, he's afraid. He's totally afraid,
Yeah.
Skip. You don't pass up to dunks to give a guy that's cutting to the basket, Skip. You dunk the ball home. But he was afraid he was going to get fouled.
That's all. Because swooping to the hoop, he's about as good as there is. Running the break, getting to the rim. He's right up there with LeBron James to me running the break because he's 6'11". He's 2 inches taller than LeBron.
Correct.
And 240 is, I'm not saying he's stout, but he can pack a wallop at the rim. Well, the point is, he got psychological demons in the depth of his psyche to where he couldn't get them out.
Right.
And obviously Doc or anybody else couldn't help him rebuild his confidence on the fly.
No, that's not happening during the season.
So my only issue with him when he was at LSU, that 1 year he was forced to play college basketball.
Right.
And he winds up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he's looking around like, where the hell am I and what am I having to do?
Right.
And he didn't really care, and about half the time he checked out. But you could see when he checked in just how dominant he could be. But the point was, and by the way, that LSU team got nowhere.
They didn't make it.
They got invited to the NIT, and they said,
no.
Thank you, but no thank you, right?
Right.
But my problem with Ben Simmons there, and this still could be the problem, is I don't know how much he cares about being great at basketball.
But hold on, Skip. But you just defended the guy said I was out of my mind. But you don't know how much he cares. You love guys that care about the game.
I do, but he is so gifted, and he's done it. Here's the final point that you're missing, I feel like. He's age 24. He's 24 years of age. Surely he can figure out, with the shame and humiliation he's going through right now, that I have to rededicate to this. I have to fix myself where next time around, because I've seen him get mad. He got mad at Jared Dudley one time. Remember when they were playing Brooklyn, when Brooklyn was nobody?
When Joel Embiid missed.
And he just destroyed Jared Dudley and the Nets at Brooklyn. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
He just annihilated them because he's got that in him, but he has to get mad about it. So to me, I'm not going to give up on him because 3 straight All-Star teams and 2 straight first-team All-Defenses is something that doesn't grow on Los Angeles palm trees.
Skip, what good is $1 million car if it's not operational?
Well,
what good is it?
But it has operated.
Yes, but it's not operational
It's
now.
won a bunch of races.
But Skip, at the end of the day, so he's giving you that. He's an all-NBA player. He's an all-defensive player. You look at that in the playoff. When has he been that in the last 2 games, in the last 2 series, the last 2 years? When has he been what his resume says that he should be?
Well, again, I'm showing you that for a while he was shooting free throws at a 70% clip in playoff series. 2 full series, he shot 70%. That'll work.
Skip, I thought you sell high. I mean, the stock's declining. So in other words, the stock's dipping, and you trying to buy more of it? You must know something I don't.
Okay, just remember, they were up 2-1 on Atlanta.
Yes.
And I was just sure it was over, and I think you were too.
No, I told you it was going 7.
Okay, but they were up 18 in Game 4 and 26 in Game 5. What?
Right.
And then they went on Friday night and won Game 6 pretty handily. They showed you again and again, when they flexed their might, they were better than the Atlanta Hawks. They're not more together. They're not more unified. They're not hotter than the Hawks, who keep overcoming their little shivering point guard. And he does good. He's a great passer, and he's great for their chemistry because he can distribute the rock and he can get Capella dunks.
Well, this is what we know. Ice Trae in this series was 29-11. Now, if Ben Simmons was giving me 29-11, I don't care what had transpired. I was like, we got to hold on to him. But he's not giving me 29-11. Hell, he's not even. What did Ben Simmons average in this series, Skip? And you talking about hold on to a starting point guard?
Absolutely.
That averaged less than 10 points a game.
No, he didn't. In the whole series?
Yes.
He was 14, 7, and 7 with 2 steals a game. And why did Trae Young, for the whole series, shoot 39% from the floor, which is horrendously bad? Ben Simmons. I give you two names, Ben and Simmons.
But
That's why.
But see, when you tie everything to Trae Young with points, you're going to say, yeah, he did play bad. But what about those 11 assists in the series? Over 7 games, that's what he gave you.